Another presidential hopeful stops in the Quad Cities. What John Hickenlooper had to say to potential voters.
And a climb of a lifetime. How a Moline woman is using her adventure to raise awareness about clean water.
Live from the Local 4 News Studios, this is Fox 18 News at 7 in high definition.
Good morning, everybody, on this Wednesday morning. I'm Redrick Terry.
And I'm Alexandria Ikomoni. Thanks for watching Fox 18 News at 7. Let's get started with your local news, beginning with our top story. We have another presidential hopeful here in the Quad Cities last night. Former
Colorado Governor John Hickenlooper hosted a meet and greet session at the Barrel House in downtown Davenport. Some voters question whether his campaign has enough stamina. About 30 people showed up to see where he stands on the issues. Fox 18's Grace Runkle has their response.
When things look darkest is when we have to work the hardest.
Former Colorado Governor John Hickenlooper says he can do the work because he already has in his home state. He says a key to finding solutions is researching problems, something this voter appreciates.
If we can't study it, how do we know what works best? So there's so much work to be done.
Hickenlooper says he can reduce gun violence by taking Colorado's laws nationwide. That means universal background checks and limiting magazine capacity.
Universal background checks, I think we could get it through nationally in a year.
I think a lot of people want to pin down a date, especially on these big issues. I think that's a good answer for me.
While other candidates have criticized what they call Hickenlooper's moderate policies, they played well in Davenport.
There's still room for moderates.
But when asked if he thinks Hickenlooper will make it to the next debate, voter Jim Bauman said,
no.
As of now, the governor lacks the polls and the donors to move on.
There's only room for so many candidates.
Leaving the Iowans we spoke to still wondering who they'll support.
But with the size of this field, I am no closer in making my decision as to who I will caucus for in February of 2020.
Grace Runkle, Fox 18 News.
Candidates must have at least 130,000 unique donors and garner at least 2% support in 4 polls. The deadline for registration is the 28th.
Posters popping up in some bathrooms at middle schools in the Rock Island School District are made to help kids who might consider hurting themselves. The people behind the positive messages are 2 moms. They started the group Suicide Prevention and Resilient Kids. The posters have the crisis text line, and they're in most of the bathrooms at Washington and Edison Junior High schools. One of the co-founders got emotional when thinking about how these posters can help someone.
So my hope with this messaging is that it helps one person potentially this year in each school. We just hope that the right person who needs to see this sees it on the day that they need to see it.
The plan is to add the posters to Rock Island High School bathrooms and have guest speakers talk about suicide prevention this school year. An East Moline woman is passionate about water. She's promoting it while climbing Mount Kilimanjaro.
Yeah, Brianna Huber works at the city's water filtration plant responsible for providing safe water. Now, water isn't safe to drink everywhere around the world, and it's a daily struggle for villages in developing nations. Fox 18's Sean Logging reports she's using her adventure to change that.
Every day, Brianna Huber spends time working with water.
We're doing bacterial testing of our distribution system.
A chemist for East Moline's water department.
We do such a good job that people don't even have to think twice about their water.
She's testing to determine how to best treat the H2O.
This is what we like to see. This is what our treatment processes here at the local water filtration plants are actually doing to remove bacteria and chemicals.
As Brianna works to make sure there's clean and safe drinking water for those that live here in East Moline, she knows that can't be said for everyone around the globe.
In third world countries or less developed countries who do not have access to water treatment like we do, what they're ingesting is this.
That's why Brianna is raising funds to support the Tanzanian Gender Networking Program.
They're doing fantastic work bringing water and sanitation services to Tanzanians.
More than a health issue.
12.1% of Tanzanians die from water-related illnesses every year.
The program addresses other needs because in these villages, women and children spend their days hauling water for miles.
Women are generally not able to work and children are generally not able to attend school.
Brianna didn't just want to raise money for the group, which also supports empowering women,
Challenging them to come up with their own solutions, and it's really locally based and locally maintained.
but challenge herself too, deciding to climb more than 19,000 feet above sea level in Tanzania to help bring awareness.
What can I do that's going to challenge myself and their environment to do the same kind of work that they're doing every day?
These steps up Mount Kilimanjaro, her way to fight for this basic resource of life. Sean Logging, Fox 18 News.
Brianna Huber will start climbing Mount Kilimanjaro September 1st. She wants to raise $5,000 for that program. We provided a link to how you can contribute at our website. That is ourquadcities.com.
Well, many of us are probably still thinking about the Mississippi Valley Fair, but crews are already planning for next year. The fair pulled out its best to celebrate the 100th year. Tesla, Nickelback, and Brad Paisley all rocked the stage last weekend. Those artists are part of the reason the fair had record numbers. Crews at the fairgrounds are now working towards booking for next year's show.
There's a few I'm looking at now. I'm not going to say names because I'm not going to jinx it because it changes day to day. So, but as soon as I find out and get a word, we'll be announcing it.
The final numbers for how many people went will be released soon, but organizers fully expect to beat last year's numbers.
Oh, I would certainly agree with that.
Yes.
Just going one of the nights, the Nickelback night on Saturday, the past Saturday, more people than I had ever seen at the fair. And yeah, it was very, very cool to see that. So I'm sure those numbers are just going to blow the previous records right out the water.
Oh, for sure. I don't even know where to guess and how to make an educated guess on that for sure. But as you went actually multiple nights, which night do you think had the biggest crowd?
Oh, Nickelback, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah, it was
quite
insane.
There were a ton of people. Yeah, somebody was supposed to be there.
Yeah, I didn't make it. Oops. You know,
look at
I'm
that.
a grandma.
Yeah. No, it's a lot of fun. Already looking forward to next year. I think we need a hip hop act next year, actually.
Oh, I said Beyonce.
If they could get Eminem.
Yeah, the Illinois State Fair has Snoop Dogg.
That's
this
what I'm
year,
saying.
So anything is possible.
Yes.
Sean Loader seems pretty excited about it, so it'll be interesting to see what he comes up with.
They've been killing it the past few years, so I'm fully confident. I have no worries at all. But as far as weather goes, if you're headed out, the main worry for us is going to be the heat and humidity today. Temperatures back up close to 90, a lot of sunshine outside. We're going to be looking at temperatures staying warm for one more day before things get better. So we just got to get through today. 66 right now in Moline. Just across the board, it feels comfortable, deceptively comfortable. So dress nice and cool because we're going to get back up at least close to 90 today. That comes with a lot of sunshine and some south winds ahead of a front that's going to move through the area overnight tonight. 90 degrees there at 4 o'clock today. So that'll be our high temperature. Then the front's going to come through with an isolated storm that could fire up, could be pretty strong, but I think most of us will stay dry here. It's just going to bring some relief in the next few days.
And we'll certainly be in favor of that come that time because it's going to be it's heating up a little bit.
A little toasty out there for sure.
A little. Get the AC cranking, you'll be fine.
Or we can have the rain come out and wash some of that heat away, and then that'd be even better.
Even better.
Because the AC has been running.
And we're paying for it.
And we're
that bill came
for
too.
it.
Money don't grow on trees.
Caught me by the neck.
You got, but mine don't.
Hashtags coming up. What one actor will be doing behind the scenes for them too.
That's next in your entertainment report. Time now is 7:09.
You're watching Fox 18 News at 7.
Fox 18 News is live at 7 with Redrick Terry, Alexandria Ikomoni, and meteorologist Ash Simpson. You're watching Fox 18 News at 7 in high definition.